This week we got a lot to talk about. First things first, why is Facebook picking a fight with Apple? Oh, yeah, we definitely got to talk about that. Two, Twitter verification. Those little check marks are coming, those little blue check marks that so many people want so badly are coming back. A new process for 2021. I'll tell you about that. And thirdly, today, gotta tell you where you can check out Cardi B and Taraji P. Henson's new shows. And no, it's not Clubhouse. And no, it definitely is not OnlyFans. Okay. and returning today is Dr. Tachi Egwu. You remember her, don't you? If not, I'll tell you why you should if you watch my old shows. Anyway, lot going on today. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the social media scene. Happy Friday, everybody. I cannot believe we are a couple of days away from Christmas. Goodness gracious, it snuck up on me. I'm not ready. I can't even act like I'm ready for this holiday season. I am not at all. But for those of you that are, and for those of you that are like me that are not, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I am Alice Fuller, principal consultant at Sheer Social. Now, if you're wondering what is Sheer Social, quickly, real simple. It is my social media marketing training and consulting business. And I do social media management too. Yeah, I do. Yay. Okay. But you can throw a dart in a ring in a room right now and, and come across a social media manager. I hate to say that, but it's true. But I'm special, damn it. And hopefully this show will help show you why. This is the social media seed. Every week I give you the latest news as I think it relates to how you use social media for business and for some fun too. Yeah, it ain't all business, but that's what I do every week here on the social media scene. So welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. If you're watching the replay, hey, this is your first time. Hey to you too. Thank you. And for those of you that come live every week, hey, thank you for spending some time in a virtual space. So I need everyone, right quick, go ahead, do me a solid. While you're doing that, go ahead and share this stream with friends and frenemies, especially in those places and spaces conversations about social media are going on. And especially where you got those friends and associates that need help with social media but will never admit it. Pride cometh before the fall, people, every time. Every time. So while you do that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my co-host today. Now, for those of you that have watched this show for years, because it's been a little while now, then you will recognize Dr. Tachi. She has come back. Yay! Woo woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to let her introduce herself while I push a couple of buttons. So go ahead, Dr. Tachi. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Alice. Thank you so
Hey,
much for having
you
me
and the
back. Yay!
and the jazz and the jazz fingers.
Yay! Spirit fingers, jazz fingers. Can you tell that I am a musical theater nerd? Anyway, thank you so much for having me back. It's good to be a guest on the show again. My name is Dr. Tachi or Dr. Tatachi Egwu. I'm a media professor, a filmmaker, a media content producer, and also a journalist. And yeah, I guess that's about it.
That's a lot.
Or yeah, it
That's
is.
that's a
There's
lot.
more, but
It's a
you know.
lot. And call her Dr. Tachi. Now, for those of you that understand why I say that, if you were about to be the vice president, not about to be the vice president's wife, but at the end of the day, the vice president's wife, and you got doctor in front of your name, call the woman Dr. Jill Biden. Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
we got that out the way, just in case you was wondering how I was feeling on that issue. Let me clear that up.
I noticed that in the thing. I was like, oh. And the funny thing is, you don't think about it. I never really make a big deal of it. And in fact, the reason I'm Dr. Tachi now is because people on another platform got on me for not putting it in front. They're like, no, you earned it, and that's what we're gonna call you. Fine, then that's who I am. So
Damn, Skippy. Hey, at the end of the day, take all your things. If they giving them to you,
I'll take my flowers.
receive
Thank you.
all your tings. Okay, go ahead. Take them. Take them. Take them.
I'm
Yes.
taking them.
So, if for those of you that missed the top of the show, here's what we're going to talk about today. Today, we are going to definitely talk about this Facebook and Apple fight. And technically, I'm not even going to say that it's that Apple is fighting Facebook. Facebook is the one that's creating all the drama here to a degree, depending on which side you're on. And then technically, I really don't think, you can take a side with this one because it benefits us as individuals and small businesses too. So I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Also, got to tell you about Twitter verification. Twitter verification is coming back for a long little while now. Twitter has not really focused on giving people those little blue check marks because of some drama that happened about a year or two ago. So they've asked for help from the users on how to make the verification process better, and people gave their feedback. And so now they have released what they will probably institute in another month or so that you can apply to get that blue check mark. Also, today we got to talk about some new shows that are coming because you're going to be at home sitting watching TV or whatever it is you do to entertain yourself. So there are two new shows coming. One started this week, one starts next week. Cardi B and Taraji P. Henson both have new shows that are going to be streaming via a social media platform. Nope, not CBS, not ABC, not HBO Max, not Netflix, and not OnlyFans. No, no. But I'll tell you in just a second what that is all about. So that's the pretty much the big rundown for today. So let's go ahead and jump into the first topic of the day. And that is definitely going to be about Facebook and Apple. Now, for those of you who have an iPhone, Tachi, are you an iPhone user yet, or are you a
Nope. Android. I am Apple across the board except for my phone.
oh,
Android.
Android? Okay, okay, all right. And yeah, you see her face when she said it. Okay, cool. So now, for those of us who are iPhone users, here's the deal: we like having some control over our privacy settings. We do, or at least we like the perception that we have some control over our privacy when we use the iPhone, right? I think most of you would agree with that. Okay. So with the new update, the iOS 14, Apple has given us the option, some more options, but this particular option will basically, we can opt in out of being targeted for ads or opt out. Because in case you didn't know, there's a certain code, and I'll show you just a minute what that code is, that are on all the iPhones and Android phones too. Keep that in mind. And this particular code pretty much tracks your activity throughout the browser. And then that's how small businesses, me included, because I can't act like I'm not a small business and I'm not a marketer, who might target some ads to you based on your behavior, based on those clicks that you're doing on your phone. So, Tachi,
Mhm.
have you read why Facebook is so mad about this? What are your thoughts on it?
I think they're just mad to be mad because they don't want extra regulation, to be honest. So when we're looking at this, they're saying that full they took that full page ad out in the New York Times to say this is for small businesses everywhere. Yeah, based on your history, this tells me you're not really concerned about that. It's really more so about you. And I think just like they were saying in according to TechCrunch, that this is really more of a PR campaign they're under they're under the microscope now when
Yep.
it comes to they're trying to break them up. They're trying to do everything possible to make themselves look good and champion people. No, we're not really trying to squash out competition. We're for small businesses. What
The
do you
lies
know
you
about being
tell.
a small business? Thank you. Thank you.
The lies you
If
tell.
you could only tell the truth.
Oh, then there's
So
that.
I really think this is it has nothing to do with championing small businesses, has nothing to do, and it has everything to do. You've already, if they were smart, they would be okay with this because they've already had issues with privacy in the past.
Yeah.
So I would not belabor this point. Leave it because this is just making you look worse in the eyes of the public. Look, I hope you're paying your PR people well because they are working double time for you.
Indeed. So, hey, Tara. Hey, Curtis. Thank you, Curtis, for the compliment. So, for those of you now, I want to give y'all the tools you need so you can check into this for yourself. Now, Facebook. I mean, technically, you can Google this, of course, but Facebook has put a statement out on its own blog and things of that nature, talking about how we're championing for small businesses. Yeah,
Rubbish.
yeah. So yeah, what they're really, and I think here's the other thing too. Come on, we realize that Google too and Facebook, they make a lot of money from advertisers. It is what it is, what it is, what it is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you as a consumer decide you don't want to see ads targeted to you, that means it's a hard sell for Facebook to sell ads to businesses and marketers because they can't target you anymore. Some
Yeah,
people say,
correct.
hey, it'll turn it into old like TV marketing and very general. Let's be clear. TV marketing or TV advertising ain't as generic as you may think it is. There's a reason why you see certain ads on certain shows and you don't see them other places, okay? Because they understand this demographic of female and male are watching this show. You see, well, I was going to say, you might see Viagra during football.
Mm.
You're not going to see
Wow.
Viagra during the Young and the Restless. See what I mean?
Hmm.
You know
Although that
why?
may be a good place for it to be, but
Oh
anyway.
no, yeah. Then there's that conversation, but that's not this show. Take that to Clubhouse.
No, no, yeah.
But we, you got Young and the Restless audience, predominantly female of a certain age demographic and things of that nature. And then you've got sports, which are still predominantly male. I mean, yeah, women watch it too, so don't come at me with that. But we understand that it's male dominated. So they're going to put ads and stuff there that they think men would be interested in buying. At the end of the day, this hurts Facebook's bottom line. Point
Mhm.
blank, period, with a T.
Mm.
Point blank. That's all this really is. So please, people, don't fall for the oompa This has more to do with the bottom line, Facebook's bottom line. Now, from what I've read from the Apple bottom line, here's the thing too. Facebook is trying to push this thing, and it could be true too. Apple might tax them. Oh, you want access to target our users? Pay me. Pay me.
Mm.
Pay me, Facebook. Pay me. That's not like Facebook doesn't have money.
Exactly.
But at this point, they don't want to pay, quote unquote, an Apple tax to have access to us as we're using our phones. at the end of the day, Apple, I ain't mad at you. I'm not. And I don't know what Google would do. I don't know what Android would do. I don't know if Google would say, you know what, Facebook, come on in. We don't have a problem with it. We don't have a problem with it. What you think, Tachi? Google would probably be like, you know what, yeah, we're going, we're siding with the Apple thing on this. Or do you think Google would be like, you know what, we're cool with it because we understand we have the same goals here.
That's a good question. I don't know. I I don't get the feeling that there's this one big family camaraderie between Google, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon. You know, the big four that were called up to the hill. So I don't really get that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say. But if I had to say on the first, not that they would necessarily be cool with it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that they're siding with Facebook on this one because they're not. Google is not an application based system the way Facebook is.
Mm-hmm.
So I see them more like an Apple in a sense, the conduit that carries this content. So I'm not sure.
It could go either way.
It could go either way. It could go either way because none of us are, at the top, and we say one thing or we postulate one thing, and it could go the other way. So it could go either way, to be honest.
Okay, well, uh, that's the big story, one of the biggest stories of this week. So keep an eye and ear to the internet streets on how that's all going to play out because Facebook, I guarantee it, in the next year or two, regulation is coming. And it's coming quick, fast, and in a hurry, in my opinion. It's coming. It is with
Look,
48 attorney generals and the FTC breathing down its neck. Regulation. Just remember,
listen.
yeah, it's
They have just been allowed to operate, and not just Facebook, but everyone has been allowed to operate the way they damn well pleased
yeah.
for donkey's years.
It's
And
been
I
donkey
think
years.
it's my mother's saying. It's an English thing, donkey's years. So they've been able to operate forever that way. And I think there is a day of reckoning that is coming. I
Mm-hmm.
think people are tired. The public is tired, even though they don't know the fine points of it. I think the public is very tired of the dominance of these things. And it doesn't help that this narrative has been in media for the past few years in terms of the dominance. And so I think there's this heightened sense of something needs to be done. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that lawmakers are aware of this. Why to this point nothing has been done, I don't know. But I think it's coming, like you said. There is a day of reckoning coming.
There's a big day of reckoning coming. Now, of course, too, if that does come, it will impact quite possibly how we use Instagram, and for those of you that are using WhatsApp too, because the big thing about the FTC suing is breaking apart Facebook, not breaking apart Facebook by itself, but breaking apart the monopoly of Facebook, separating
Yeah,
Facebook from Instagram, so Instagram can go back to being independent. That means also same thing for WhatsApp, which is why if y'all haven't noticed, and I've been trying to tell you, you notice the merging of the messaging apps over the last 3-4 months. That is
exactly. And that was purposely done. That
purposely
was
done.
purposely done because now if you integrate key features of each app into each other, it makes it harder to separate. So that was purposely done. So the argument would be that, well, it's really difficult to separate them now because we've integrated so much of these apps within our ecosystem. So to separate it, so if we see something happen, we're not talking about until really 2022 in terms of a breakup because they knew what was coming. And I think Zuckerberg knew that this is something that could be not permissible.
Mm-hmm.
So they started to integrate these things, not just to make it easier for you, ladies and gentlemen, but so that they would not be under the microscope about these things, about a breakup, because now I can't break them up. They're too intertwined.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to other social media news. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on to let's our next. Big story of the week was or is Twitter verification. Lord of mercy. If one more,
Lord of mercy.
Lord of mercy. Murder, she wrote.
Yes. Murder. See, we're not going to turn this into club social media scene. So,
Boom! Calm down, music selector. Okay, I'm sorry.
uh,
So,
Billy Malabantikilla, we could go
there,
there, but
yeah. But at the end of the day, we start talking about Twitter and all the drama about Twitter verification. People,
Mhm.
here's my public service announcement to you. If you are not one of those celebrity individuals, notables, one of those uh individuals, we're getting to Periscope in just a second, Curtis. Uh one of those individuals where people like to take your profile and copy it. I
Mhm.
mean, even
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
fan base, they think they're doing something so special, and they create something that looks like you. But then you have some other people too who will take your profile, your picture, and everything. Because it happened to me a couple of months ago. My mugshot, my everything, and created a whole different Instagram profile called Cheer Social. Oh, what you're not gonna do is so, but it happens. So for the rest of us, though, the verification people, it's nice to have, but do we have to make everything so attached to who we are as an individual? Yet it's not going to get you any more money. It's
No,
not going to gain you any more following.
no,
It's
ma'am.
not going to attract any more client. The things that really matter, having the blue check mark, that ain't it. That's not what you should
Mm-mm.
be chasing.
Mm-mm.
So for those of you that just are saying, well, forget you, Miss Social Media Manager, I want my blue check mark. Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. Here's the thing. 2021. You can apply or reapply, but there will be some new rules and regulations. It won't be as easy as you think. Now it won't be hard either, but Twitter has basically put their foot down to a degree with the help of users, telling everybody, look, this is what we're going to do for you, for those of you that are just got to have that blue check mark. Okay, here's the thing. Profiles no longer will require biographies or header images to be considered to be complete. I don't particularly like that, but well, I like to have a bio, at least a little bit of something to give me some insight into what's going on. But okay, that's Twitter's decision. Okay, Twitter says too. They've if you are a news person or journalist, even if you work in the sports category, that has been renamed. So the news category has been renamed to news and journalists. And I think for journalists, this is crucial for y'all,
Mhm.
and sometimes me, depending on who I'm working with. And the sports category renamed to sports and esports in order to be more inclusive. Okay, so that should be easy for most of us. Okay, now for those of us that work in entertainment too, they're going to make it clear that if you're a digital content creator, you can now stand out as a digital content creator. So that will also help categorize what you do, who you are on Twitter. And I think the digital content creator one, that's a big piece
Yeah.
too. Because I would dare say right now, almost everybody seems to be a digital content creator. And especially if you're trying to
Yeah.
do it for business. Okay, now your follower count. I know a lot of people like to pop their collar, because I got my first 5,000, I got my first 10,000. There you go, pop it. you like to walk into the room, and the first thing you say is, "I got 10,000." Okay, fine, whatever. Twitter has adjusted its minimum follower count requirement from a per country basis to a per
Mm.
region basis in order to make the requirement less susceptible to spam and equitable across geographies. Basically,
Mhm.
your follow account don't mean nothing.
Nope.
Really. It's, so don't think that alone is going to get you the blue check mark. Let me just make that simple. Now, here's the thing. Now, for those of you who are academics, religious leaders, scientists, they'll have some categories for you early next year.
Hmm.
So you may qualify under existing categories like activists, organizers, and other influential individual categories. So you have more categories to choose from, or you will have more categories to choose from next year because these things are going to go into effect January 20th, 2021. Okay. So, what are your thoughts, Tachi?
Well, it goes back to the whole thing. You just said this. In order to create and to be viable, do you really need a blue check? And if again, in the article, they're saying you can't just be anybody and you can't just request it simply because you want it. But that's why I should have it. You still have to justify why you need to have a blue check. But if almost anybody can have it, is it worth having? Does it really mean
Mm-hmm.
as much as it did? So I think that's what we have to look at. I mean, in my opinion, I'm damn good. I don't have a blue check. I don't necessarily feel like I need a new check. You're damn good. You don't have a blue check unless I somewhere I missed it. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. And so yeah, I agree with the follower count thing is null and void. To me, the more important metric is engagement. How engaged are people being with you when it comes to that type of thing? So follower count is a moot point and it's nonsense, absolutely. Follower count and those types of things are really paid attention to by advertisers or people that are trying to use you to monetize. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I've never been a whole thing of, I have to have a blue check anyway because I am a journalist. I am a content creator and all of that. Um, it's never been my big thing to be verified in those types of things. Not that it's not important, especially if you're a larger personality or notable person. You do want to prevent people copying, and that is one way to show that this is you. But it's also been used as kind of a carrot dangle thing for the rest of us, which I don't like because there are those of us that are doing some damn good, damn important work, more important in some cases and more work in some cases than some of the notable people and some celebrities, but we don't have that option. So it's not a marker of work
Yeah.
to me. So it is what it is. So, but I'm glad to see them revising this whole thing. Do we need it at this point? I don't know. It remains to be seen.
Um, I think for some, yeah, you do need it.
For some
Specifically.
people, for very notable people, to avoid duplication and to know this is the real XYZ. But then
Yeah.
again, people are duplicating account. You just got spoofed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then what is the recourse for us? Is there then some other color check that we get for those events? I think I would like to see them do tiers of check marks.
Oh, okay. Tiers or check marks. Okay, like you get the blue, you get the yellow. All right.
Correct. Correct. I mean, and I don't know about basing it on follower count. That is one system that you could use, but there are other things too that they can use in terms of activity, the things that you are actually like tweeting about. Are you connected with XYZ? So, for example, you may be a freelancer and you often have stuff in the New York Times, but you're not necessarily employed by the New York Times. Does that make you any less worthy to have a check as a journalist after your name? No.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be different tiers of check marks with different colors to signify who's who, because anybody's account can be, you know, whatever. What you don't want is that egg, or not the egg, but the silhouette of a person trying to get a blue check mark. That's what I don't agree with. So
Yeah. At this point, here's the thing too, because as people are either coming into Twitter for the first time, okay, as you're following people, building up your follower account, Twitter has been probably talked about in the last what in the last year than it
yeah,
ever was before. Thanks to
indeed.
who. But at the end of the day, too, when you start thinking about who to follow, should you follow them, having the blue check mark somewhat does help with that. But it's like I said, at the end of the day, you know what? Don't chase that. That's not the most important thing you really should be even thinking about, really, because you still got to build a following whether you have the blue check mark or not.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so here's the thing too. Now we're going to continue talking about Twitter because Twitter has some other news. Now, for those of you who are live streamers, uh, you may have heard, especially if you use a mobile phone,
Yes.
wah 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 wah. I'm trying to do taps. Wah wah wah.
Is that taps?
Something. Da, da, da. Okay, never mind. So, because I don't have the rights to that either. So, if you sue me, it's gonna be a dress rehearsal because you will get none. You will get nil. So, at the end of the day, when we start talking about Twitter and Periscope, for those of you that built your following and are still building a following on Periscope, your days are numbered. Now, Tachi, I know you were strong on Periscope.
Yeah.
Strong on Periscope. So, what are your thoughts on this new sunsetting of of uh of Periscope?
I'm numb. This is just app number 275 that has gone defunct in I am like, it's funny because on Wednesday, MC Curtis was like legitimately sad about this, and we were all like kind of poking fun at him. I am not that sad. I saw this coming. I think we all saw this coming. We knew that it was inevitable that it was going to sunset or at close at some point. And to me, being absorbed by Twitter fully now really means that it's closing because we've looked at Twitter and what they've managed to do before when they had Vine. They had it. It was still viable. They either mismanaged or didn't do what they should with it. They closed it. So now, to me, the question is how important is live streaming to Twitter for them to keep it viable within the app? That's what I'm wondering. Everybody's like, oh well, you'll be able to go live from Twitter now. It will just, but okay, hey, is the API going to be open for those of us that use encoders, etc., and actually produce shows to do it? Or are you going to have to go live natively now through the app? What are they going to do with that part of it? Number two, for how long are you going to start to keep paying attention to that? Or are we going to start to notice little bugs and things that aren't working, which is an indication that you're getting ready to shut it down? I could be completely wrong. They could be very serious about the live stream game and really being a player, or they could be figuring there are already a lot of other people in the live stream game. Let's focus on doing what we do. There's also, this is another part to the thing. So there's a new app that debuted a few months ago called Haps, and it's really aimed at citizen journalists and journalists, although there's everybody on there now. But is that something that they could be thinking about, looking at an app like Haps and how it's growing in popularity and saying that's really, we're already considered like a news app, a trending topics app. Is that a direction we can go in, really giving the onus to journalists to do what they will with live streaming instead of letting it be a free for all?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting to see what they're going to do with this. But my personal feeling, meh, okay. Don't get me wrong, Periscope has been good to me. That was a major reason that I was able to form the base that I had in terms of my show. So, till the end, we're there. But it is what it is. It's just another app gone.
Well, I'm wondering, like you said, for those of us who are using third-party applications. Now, Twitter does have a studio, a producer studio. Twitter,
Yes.
forgot what it's called, Twitter Media Studio or something of that nature.
Yeah, something like that.
But to my knowledge, as of yesterday, I don't have access to it.
Nope.
Usually, big media companies, people that are paying, lots of money in advertising and things of that nature, generally have access to it because I have been looking for it. And at this point, I don't see a tab. I went into my analytics. I'm going in there. I'm searching all over, the behind the scenes of my Twitter profiles, plural, and nowhere do I see access to that particular thing. But maybe it's coming. But as of right now, I don't think everybody has access to that. And so I do hope they give us smaller people, and I don't mean in height, uh, the access to
Access.
to do our live streams, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, live streaming is going to be the go-to, the thing that a lot of people like shied away from for the last pre-corona are now being forced to a degree into using live streaming more, or at least now they're beginning to open their mind up to live streaming. We don't usually think of Twitter and live streams. However, sports, major sports have been live streamed through Twitter,
Uh-huh.
Facebook,
Yeah.
not Facebook, but football, Major League Football,
Hmm.
soccer, I want to say baseball. Then you've got the red carpets that have been live streamed before the major award shows.
Uh-huh.
So the entertainment game has been using Twitter live streaming at least for the last 2 to 3 years. It's just the rest of us didn't have access to it. So Twitter, if you're watching, since I'm streaming on Twitter, hey Tweeple, um,
Tweeples.
hi my Tweeples, please Twitter, go ahead and open that thing up, please, because I didn't need a fleet. A fleet to me is something I do, to improve digestion. I
Your
said that so
systems.
nicely.
You
I said,
did. You did. The fact that you said it.
and for in other countries, a fleet is something that you repel mosquitoes with. But for me, it helps improve digestion. That's a good way to put that.
You you know, I'm just, well, Curtis to say be careful about Periscope. I'm sorry you threw me off with that. um I'm here's the thing with Twitter and the production studio and things that they have, which we don't have access to right now. The things that are being produced that I, in my estimation, from what I've seen now, there's no way I can know what everybody is doing on Twitter, all these organizations, news or otherwise. But what I have seen is just really a replay of what they would do on linear television. And
Mhm.
folks, that's not what live stream is about. That's part of what it's about. It can be used for that. But live stream is meant to be interactive. The purpose of live stream in this sense that we're talking about it is not just live replay or not just a live event where the audience has nothing to do but talk amongst themselves. We want feedback from the commentators to us. We like to be made to feel special, that we are part of a community. That's what live stream is in the sense that we know it. And so what you do by opening that to streamers like myself, like Alice, like every, like some of you out there, is that you open the dialogue. You open the opportunity for audiences to connect with talent and other people directly, as opposed to, oh, we're just talking amongst ourselves and nobody up there is, well, then, damn it, I can watch TV for that. So that's the key thing that is missing with Twitter. And so if they open that studio and allow for us and open their API to allow for us to do that, that will be significant, I think.
Hmm. And then, two, one of the main reasons live streaming was even brought to Twitter was because of that real time engagement. You let your favorite show be on. For me, right now, that would be Monday nights All Rise on CBS.
Ah, all rise. Okay.
All Rise, and I'm trying to live tweet. It's not I'm trying. I do. I'm live tweeting. So any TV producer can literally have a conversation with its fan base. They're not streaming the show, but if they wanted to stream the show, and this has been done, there was one TV show that did stream on Twitter. Was it last year sometime? It premiered on Twitter. And so producers could literally, see what the engagement was. That can be a plus and that can be a minus.
Yeah.
but but at the end of the day, that piece is there because they can gauge the sentiment right out the gate. They can see, not, and all of it is measurable. How many tweets, how often,
Hmm.
what
Right.
the sentiment is, which character is getting the most mentions. All of that is measurable. So Twitter, come on with it, okay? Okay. just come on with it. Okay, so let's move on to the fun stuff.
Moving on.
Moving on to the fun stuff. Before I do that, Mark here. Mark says, "I'm not saying." Let me see if I can fix this right quick. Ooh. He says, "I'm not saying that it's true or who is saying it, but people are saying that Periscope going down and Tachi predicting it are not a coincidence." Talk amongst yourselves.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, say what you will.
Yes, say what you will.
You
It is.
you all know
You, hey,
Twitter has had it. I mean, not Twitter, but Periscope has. There's always little things happening during the show. There's always something. So I'm always making these comments like, "Do better, Periscope." So yeah, you never know. It could have been
you
me.
gotta do it. You gotta do it because at this point, soon as Facebook, technically, we kind of knew it. Soon as Facebook uh, gutted, soon as Facebook gutted the the best of what Periscope was, it was pretty much a done deal. Pretty much a done
Right.
deal. Pretty much. They gave it to Instagram, and then Instagram Live just blew up, and more people began to come on to Instagram. And then before you knew it, Periscope just kind of was just sitting over there by itself, quietly doing what it do on a regular basis, and it kind of dropped out of the conversation, and everything became
Absolutely.
about Instagram. So at this point, it had a good run. It had a good run. It really did. It really did.
It did. And I think that the key differences here is that Periscope is it was a social platform, but the social platform was built primarily around live streaming.
Hmm.
So the question I think then is that enough to sustain a platform? Instagram is not just live. In fact, Instagram Live came well after everybody else.
Hmm.
It is a social platform that has other things going on. The same thing with Facebook, and they were one of the earlier ones in the game, like 2016 or so. So they have these other platforms. Same thing with LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn they're very early in their live stream game, but it is a platform that also offers live streaming. So the thing with Periscope, same thing with Meerkat, same thing with they were not social platforms that had other engaging parts of it. So if you did not want to watch a live or be on a live, that there was really nothing else for you to do.
Hmm.
So that calls into question, is it enough to be a standalone live stream app, or do you need to have some other things going on to be viable?
Okay. So moving on to the more fun stuff now. Let's move on to Cardi B and Taraji P. Henson have
Oh
new
dear.
shows on. I'm gonna let y'all guess. Guess which platform it's on. I'm gonna let y'all guess. Cardi B, Taraji P. Henson, both have shows on a particular platform. Now, y'all in the audience here, go ahead and guess which platform do you think they have? They're going to have these new shows on. What do you think? Is it YouTube? Is it Facebook? Is it Clubhouse? Is it okay? I got one vote for Facebook. I got one vote. Let me get this. I got one vote for Facebook. I got two votes for Facebook. Delphine says OnlyFans. I did. It is. It is okay. All things considered, yeah, it could be. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Let's do. Okay, Taraji Facebook. Okay. So here's the thing. So that was Tara's vote. Taraji's
Okay.
on Facebook. Okay, y'all are thinking Cardi B is probably on OnlyFans. But here's the thing.
Wow.
Hey, That's an educated guess. I ain't mad at it. Not
It,
at
it-
all.
yeah, I'm not either, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not mad.
So we're going to talk about Cardi B thing first. Now, Cardi B's new show, she's definitely making money moves with this one because I suspect Facebook Messenger. I suspect Facebook approached Cardi to do
Hell yeah.
this new show. Now, I could be wrong on that, so I'm not right all the time. A good 99.9, yeah, but there's a small percentage that I could be wrong about concerning
But
that.
I'm guessing you're right. I'm
Yeah,
guessing you're right. I think Facebook probably approached her.
yeah, because Facebook at this point they want Facebook Messenger. Now here's the thing: Facebook for years has been, paying celebrities and whatnot, like Red Table Talk and all of that, to be on
Correct.
Facebook Watch.
Hmm.
That just seems like, where you would go. Okay, cool, because they want that to be your new Netflix, your new YouTube, or whatever. But Messenger, I think this is the second show that they've streamed through Messenger.
Yes. Yeah, I
So
can't remember what the first one is,
I
but
can't either at this point. And it wasn't
it
that
lets you
long
know how popular that show was anyway.
but it wasn't that but it wasn't that long ago either. But
No,
here's
it wasn't.
no, it was just what, a couple of months ago? I think it was.
Uh-huh.
So when you think about Facebook Messenger, now here's the thing too. Remember, Facebook Messenger has now integrated, somewhat with Instagram DMs,
Uh-huh.
but also they've got the group watch. Remember Facebook? I told you with this new Facebook Messenger revamping that they've done, you now have what do they call? I forgot what the feature is called. For lack of a better phrase, it's like Facebook Watch in Messenger, wherein you can start a group of people together and y'all can watch
Right, like a watch party like in Messenger
a watch
basically.
party in Messenger.
Yeah.
And so I suspect that feature hasn't been used as much. And so to get us to use that feature more, Facebook is probably planning to add more programming because now I'm talking TV, but I'm talking social
Yes.
media, which is kind of interesting. But I told y'all years ago, remember when I
You
first
did.
started?
You
I
did.
told
You
you. I
did.
did. That's right.
Yes.
Give
Take
me
your
my
flowers.
teams. Give me my teams.
Take
I
your
told you.
flowers. Yes. Yes.
This whole thing with media and social media in a minute, it's just gonna be media. So
It already is
it
media. It's
already you're right.
just
It's
media.
already is
It's
media.
just media.
Just
Yeah.
media. So with this new show, which I'm gonna show y'all a little piece of it, and I gotta admit,
Oh.
it's funny. I gotta admit, Cardi has definitely a sense of humor. She
She
definitely has a sense of
does.
humor. So with this, Cardi's bringing her Cardi Tries. It's called Cardi Tries. Oh,
Mhm.
it's called Watch Together. That's what it's called. Watch
Okay, watch together. Thank you.
Watch
Yes.
Together. Watch Together. So on Messenger, and it's produced by Jesse Collins Entertainment. Hey, Jesse. So for those of you who don't know
Oh,
Jesse Collins Entertainment, he produced in the last couple of years a lot of the BET awards and a lot of the
yeah.
BET shows, the award shows and things of that
That's
nature.
your crew, right?
That's my old crew.
That's your old crew, right?
We have some of my old crew, the old crew, they live longer. But then that's a whole nother story. So, but Jesse is also he's going to be the producer of the Super Bowl next year.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, that's right.
And
That's
he is the
right. I read
first,
that.
the first black anything to produce, not be talent, but to
To
produce
produce.
the Super Bowl. So you give him his things too. So
And it
now big
only
up
took till 2021. Good for you.
and well, never mind what I was about to say. I was about to get real
Yeah,
political, but I'm a,
exactly.
I'm keeping it positive. Keeping it
Yes.
positive. So Cardi B's new show, Cardi Tries. It is a weekly 8-episode series. Okay, it premiered yesterday, so you still got time to watch it. It's not like it only was a one shot. No, it premiered yesterday and will run up until February 4th. Now she's gonna
Yay.
try lots of different things. This first episode that I that you're about to see is about her trying ballet. Yeah, I'm giggling. I'm kikiing to myself. Yes. So she's going to try being a ballerina. or ballet,
Mm, mm,
a sushi chef. Lord,
mm,
watch your hands.
mm.
And a teacher. Now, what kind of teacher?
Oh. Let me reserve judgment. Oh.
Then there's that. Okay, so some of the celebrity guests include Debbie Allen, National Basketball Association All Star Damian Lillard, actress Michelle Rodriguez. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you
Mm-hmm.
gotta have what? You gotta have Messenger to watch it.
To
Don't
watch.
now. Now here's the thing though. That's not to say it won't end up, on YouTube, because what I'm about to show you is on YouTube, not on
See?
Messenger.
There you
So,
go.
but if you have Messenger, this new watch together, technically, as long as you got Messenger on Instagram, you can still use stuff on IGTV,
Correct.
and they're going to put reels in there too. So all of that content you can watch together with a group of friends of yours through this new watch together. I think they just launched watch together a couple of months ago, so all of that is relatively new. So
It
let
is.
me show you why I had a good time laughing at Cardi B last night at Debbie
Come
Allen
on with it.
Studios. Where is it? It's there in Culver City. I was trying to think where it was, but it's in Culver City, right next to,
Okay.
not too far
Yeah,
from,
yeah, yeah. Debbie Allen.
yeah, not too far from Sony Pictures. So
Okay.
here we go. Let me show you this. Now, I got to cue it up because every time you try to go over to YouTube and see something, there's always an issue. You got to go through the ad first. And no, I was not trying to uh, download it for you and do all of that. I was not, and I do apologize. But let's go over here to the
We
YouTube.
forgive you.
Thank you. And while I'm on YouTube, let's do the Cardi B. I'm gonna have to look it up. Cardi B, and
Wait,
I am, because the
Curtis
link.
said,
What does Curtis say?
he said, "What's Cardi teaching? Is
Ooh,
the episode available? Asking for a friend.
Lord
The
God.
friend is you. The
Thank
friend is
you.
you."
Thank you, and thank you again. That, yeah, yeah. If you take to a poll, I want to see it. Let us see it, please. I want to see you do it.
And be sure you're wearing those knee socks and the short shorts that you play dodgeball
There you go.
in.
Do that. Do all of that. So let's look at this right here. So this is episode 1 from somebody called Slapping T. You know what? Let me preview this right quick before I play it, because Slapping T
Before
could
you
be
put up the slapping T,
that could be anything.
it could be something
Okay, here
else.
we go. Here we go. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Have you done ballet before?
Well, I used to be a stripper. Hey, great! I'm about to go see Debbie Allen. I'm a little nervous because it's like I don't want to frustrate her because I got 2 left feet.
Oh, yeah. She's not lying about the 2 left feet.
Everybody be thinking that it's like I could dance and everything, but it's like I literally have to take like a month or 2 to just learn it.
You'll be able to do it. I feel like once you catch
Oh,
on,
can I just pause that for a second? Tachi.
Please do.
Tachi. Uh, now you're a dancer.
Yes.
A dancer. I'm more like the club dancer.
Yes.
I'm like the club dancer, but you're a dancer. Okay. So I've seen the choreography of some of Cardi's videos. It ain't that difficult. She said it takes 3 months to learn the choreography. Why? Why?
That means she's really not a dancer, or she's listening to the wrong instruments when she's trying to dance.
Okay. I'm like, I don't understand why it takes 3. Okay, but you know what? Let me show you a little bit more of this, just so you can see it.
Now, I want you to just follow the class.
Okay.
Because I know this is new for you.
Your hand's so soft.
Oh, you're sweet, you're sweet. All right, everyone, second position. 6, 7, and open. And plie. Bend your knees. Keep the heels on the floor. Arms up. And open. Tendu. Close to first. And demi-plie. Look at those heels together. Heels together. Stretch. Demi-plie. And straighten your knees. Now go all the way down. And all the way up. Put this heel together. Those tiny. And stretch. Yes.
Okay.
Demi-plie. Bend your
Okay,
knees.
that's enough of that. That's okay. Okay, people. That's Cardi's new show. Cardi tries. Woo, that's funny to me. Okay, it kind of reminds me too of back when I was a kid and I took my own. I had ballet lessons, learning the 5 positions and bar and all of that. But that right there is hilarious to me.
Look, listen, ballet is hard. Ballet is not that's a it's even hard for me. And ballet, most of my training is modern and African. And so like modern is based in ballet, but it's not ballet. So it was years later that I went back and I took ballet when I was little and then went back and took it. It is hard. It is so I feel for Cardi with that one.
And
I
especially
feel
when
for her.
especially for those of us that are blessed with booty,
Oh
that
yeah,
that
yeah.
that booty just yeah, it's an asset. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to ballet, you got to learn how to tuck that in a bit. But it's great
And
for
it just doesn't work often. I
yeah,
was like,
that would be
tuck
true.
it in. I was like, where?
How? Forget where.
How?
How?
Where would you like me to?
You can
It's
put
not going to work. So you
no.
just have to deal.
Thank you. This tutu ain't covering nothing, lady. Nil.
Nope.
Nothing. Okay, so that's Cardi's show on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Now remember, the first episode premiered yesterday. You got until
Hmm.
February 4th. Now let's delve into Taraji P Henson. Taraji's show. Hold on. Okay, so we got some. Okay, so Curtis says Cardi looks like she's dropping it. Yeah, she's
I
dropping it.
did.
She's dropping it all right.
Curtis.
She's dropping it. He didn't lie, Tachi. She is dropping
He's
it.
not. But in ballet, you have to bring it back up. You can't just draw. You need to bring it
Well,
back
that's
up.
true. But that's true at the club too. Trust me. Just, you,
Clearly, clearly, clearly.
the come up, getting down is the easy part. You just drop, and if you know what you're doing and your knees agree, then if you know what you're doing, you can come right up
Yes.
and still look
You
sexy.
just have to rebound though. You can't, but in ballet, it's down and hold and then up, and that's what kills you. But you can rebound at the club, just kind of use that momentum to bounce back up.
Oh, wait. Well, for y'all
You
to
know.
see the episode, when they get to the Catherine Dunham type of African dance,
I
oh,
love Dunham. Oh, sorry.
Cardi didn't have no problem with that.
See, I have to watch this today. At the completion of this episode, I will be tuning
He
in.
had no problem with the African type style of dance. No problem with that. But the European, no. Okay, so let's give Taraji her tings right quick because Taraji is doing a new show. And her show, though, is still affiliated with Facebook, but this particular show is going to be on Facebook Watch, not Messenger. Cardi's show is on Messenger. Taraji's show is on Watch. So I don't want y'all to be confused with that. Her show is called Peace of Mind. Now, for those of you that follow Taraji, you know she's a big advocate for mental health, especially
Yes.
within the African American community. So this show is dedicated to that particular topic,
Hmm.
discussing mental health issues, resources, things of that nature. So this show, which is why I wanted to end it because I wanted to wrap up the show with that because right around the holidays, it's gonna be rough for a lot of people. We kiki
Yeah.
here on the show, but it's gonna be rough for a lot of people this Christmas. It really is with COVID, passing away of loved ones and things of that nature.
Hmm.
It's going to be rough for a lot of people. So therapy is not a bad thing, people. Yes, I
Not at
know.
all.
I know our elders put Uncle in the back room and just fed him. and told you not to bother him like they did in Soul Food. But the reality of it
Exactly.
is, the reality of it is, therapy is not a bad word. So
Oh.
with this new show she's doing, through her Boris Henson Foundation, which is named after her father, and this particular show, like I said, is called Peace of Mind with Taraji. She's co-hosting it with her best friend, someone named Tracy Jade. Oh,
Mm,
Tracy Jade is the executive director of her mental health foundation.
mm,
And they're going to give you resources. They'll talk about some of everything. And this foundation, too, will give you free virtual therapy. So I'm going to show you the
mm.
website for that in case you need somebody to talk to.
That's
So
good stuff.
that is good stuff. And not only that, but it also, if you are a student and you are thinking you want to delve into mental health as a career, they provide scholarships. Wonderful thing.
Oh.
So this first episode has Gabrielle Union. If y'all follow Gabrielle Union, then you know she was raped when she was 19 at gunpoint. So she'll be one of
Mhm,
the first guests to talk about post traumatic stress and PTSD. Then we'll also hear from Mary J. Blige. We'll hear from Tamar Braxton, and a lot of us know Tamar uh, was hospitalized following a suicide attempt.
mhm.
So this particular show is going to be really, really, I think, helpful for a lot of people. So let me show you where you can see it because, of course, I said it's going to be on Facebook Watch, not Facebook Messenger. And I have a clip here. I'm going over to her foundation. I'll put the link to her foundation in the comments. So here on Facebook, so y'all can you can get the information that you need. It is the Boris Henson Foundation.org. Boris Henson Foundation.org. Okay, so I'm gonna take you there now. Here we are at the website, and as you can see, she has a resource guide that you can get, which is wonderful. And then when you get past that, there's statistics and information there. And here is the clip. And I wouldn't call it a sizzle reel per se, but here's a little promo for it.
What does mental health mean to you?
I've been going to therapy since I was 19.
I suffered with anxiety and depression. It was out of control.
It's hard to spill our guts and tell our secrets.
Strength is recognizing and admitting help.
You are not alone, sis.
We gonna heal. We gonna heal.
Peace of Mind with Taraji, only on Facebook Watch.
Okay. I don't know how well that audio went through, but nonetheless, that's the
What does mental health mean to you?
stop. So that is the show, Peace of Mind with Taraji on Facebook Watch. Now, is this something you think you'll watch, Taraji?
You call me Taraji.
Oh, Taraji, Lord, Tachi.
Tachi,
I'm old
Taraji,
people.
whatever.
I'm old. Der.
Oh, stop it.
Some young and be like, Auntie Alice. Not there yet, baby. Not there.
No, not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not there.
Yeah, I probably will take a look at it. I think these types of things are needed, definitely. So kudos to Taraji and Facebook Watch, I guess, for putting this out there. I will say this, that I think we're going to start to need a, granted, Facebook Watch is not, what they came to her. I'm not trying to be funny. This is needed, but they also knew that they needed more substance on Facebook Watch. Red Table Talk is hugely popular. I know in the back of their head, they're like, oh, well, Taraji does this and we can get that and that'll be. So this was pure, also purely for audience building sake for Facebook Watch. Let's not, but I think it's a great idea. I will definitely be checking it out. I think though we're going to start to need to see more from Facebook Watch in terms of Black women, and not only talking about problems, because we are more multifaceted than that. There's already Red Table Talks, which is great. It's a great show program, but it's always talking about our issues and problems, which we need. So now we have another one. We are more than our problems. So I implore Facebook Watch to start to try to find some shows or programming that will show Black women in more of a light than just about our problems. We've got two, that's enough.
Okay. So I think too, the other piece to that is Facebook understands too that not only does it need programming, but it needs programming from diverse, diverse is code for
Indeed.
non-white,
Indeed.
non-white,
Non-melanated. I mean, they need
non-melanated.
melanated. They need melanated talent.
They need melanated talent because uh, after Red Table Talk, then they Gloria Estefan and her family have their version of Red Table.
Right.
And now Taraji has her show, which I think will do quite well. And here's the other thing too, because when we start talking about mental health, and I think in the 2021, we're going to see more and more discussion about social media and mental health. We that discussion kind of started already this year, but I think next year there's going to be even more conversation around the impact that social media can have on our mental health, good, bad, and or otherwise. Okay, so I think Facebook too understands we got to get this PR game together and say and make it look like we out here doing some good for the people, not just using them for data. And so at
Absolutely.
and at this point, if it means that we get some more great programming, like Taraji said, we don't want trauma porn. We want
Right.
we want diversity in producing and content, but we also want diversity in topics. So hopefully there will be some more great programming. I can't believe I'm talking about programming with Facebook coming down, coming
Like
down.
people who do tech and social media and pop culture. Who said that? I did.
Yes, yes, there it is. Okay, so that's pretty much a wrap, people. That's it. We out. So I want to thank Taraji for being on the
You
show
mean
today.
Tachi?
Thank you. Damn it.
Oh, Taraji is here? Where? I need to meet her. Oh,
Tachi, because I'm thinking Tachi,
yeah.
but my mouth is saying Taraji because Taraji
Taraji.
is
No
right
worries.
here and she's front of mine. So I do apologize. Your name is Tachi, and I know
No
that.
problem.
Blame is my
We know you know that.
as the elders would say, blame the mind, not the heart.
Of
So
course.
thank you, Tara. Tara says this segment was very informative. Thank you, and thank you again for coming and being a part of the show. All right, so people, this is the week before Christmas. If I don't know what to tell you about Christmas at this point, um, just be safe,
Yeah.
please, please. I know the vaccine is hitting various markets, but that does not mean it is a time to get lax about anything. As Tara says,
Exactly.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Indeed. Next Friday
You
is
too.
Christmas. You probably will not see me online. Not in this not in this capacity. So
Right.
enjoy your families. If you can indeed spend time with your family, do so. Um, and just enjoy your life. Enjoy your life while you still got it. Okay. So let me do my little shout outs right quick here. So Pat came through. Pat said, "You done forgot her name." I did
And
not,
she's
damn it.
rolling her eyes.
I did not forget her name. It's just the names are similar, and it is what it is. I'm trying to talk fast because I'm trying to wrap this show up. It should have been wrapped up a good little, at least a good 10 minutes ago. So, Pat, thank you. Tara, thank you. Curtis, thank you. Who else was in the room? Is that Sab Jackson? Sab Saab? How do you
Mm-hmm.
Sab? Is it Sab?
Sab. Mm-hmm.
Sab? Is that short for something? Like
Sabrina.
Sebastian? Sabrina, okay.
Sabrina.
Sabrina, hey Sabrina. Then we've got Candace. Hey Candace. Then
Hey,
we've got
Candace.
Mark. Uh
Mark Ward.
Mark Ward. That's hey Mark. How you doing? Then we have who else we have in the room here today?
We had Delphinia, who I know as Nikki. Hey.
Delphenia, okay. And
Uh-huh.
then am I missing anybody? I'm missing anybody. I'm not missing anybody. Okay, cool. So thank everybody for coming through. I really appreciate you. For those of you on Twitter, for those of you on YouTube, for those of you here on Facebook, thank you and have a blessed Christmas, holiday, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you observe, because I think Hanukkah started for some other people in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So happy everything that you observe for the holiday, and maybe the week after I'll be back. That's that Friday of New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is next Friday, right?
Is that, yeah. That's the
Friday
following
after
Friday is
the Friday
New Year, right.
Yeah, I might. We'll see. We'll yeah. So bye everybody. Please be safe. I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye. Until next time.